Moving forward, we're requiring 2 officers to be with any inmate that we're taking outside a facility.
Well, tonight, Metro is making some changes after an inmate escapes police custody, then steals a car and winds up getting shot.
13 Action News reporter Sasha Gomez is live where it all began near Vegas Valley and Maryland Parkway and explains what Metro says went wrong. Sasha.
Well, for starters, there was one officer that was escorting that felon right here at the diagnostic center. In this case, it was a 4-time convicted felon who also happens to be a 6'1" and weighing 300 pounds. In all cases, Metro will double up on protection regarding inmates.
Looking at this incident, we've already taken steps in moving forward. We're requiring 2 officers to be with any inmate that we're taking outside a facility.
A new requirement effective immediately after Gregory Gansey broke away from custody, hopped into a car, rammed other vehicles, got shot by officers, but managed to avoid police until he ran out of gas. Metro says inmate was having his routine checkup at this central facility Wednesday morning when he got away. Police say he was wearing shackles and chains, but still managed to escape. Today, the department says it followed protocol, including having a single officer escorting him.
It was appropriate for the officer to take him to that facility with that officer and that inmate alone.
The chaos that followed convinced Metro that protocol will not be appropriate anymore. Metro also acknowledges the officer transporting the inmate made one mistake.
Officer Wynn was not wearing a body-worn camera during this incident.
Gansey's stolen car would eventually let him down. It didn't have that much gas and he stalled out behind the Golden Nugget downtown. Officers say Gansey was sentenced yesterday for his previous criminal history, but Wednesday's incident will only add to his troubles. Guys, now I talked to the driver whose truck was stolen right here at this diagnostic center, and he has a different take on what Metro had to say. That's all new at 6. Sasha Gomez, 13 Action News, elevating Las Vegas.
Sasha, thank you. Well, this new video is raising some eyebrows on social media. It appears to show someone wearing Ku Klux Klan garb on the strip near the SLS. A local realtor posted this video on Twitter. It appears that person is also holding some kind of sign, but no word on who that person is.
Well, developing tonight, we are now getting a first look at a convenience store clerk under arrest. Police say that she shot and killed the suspect who stole beer. Well, tonight, Suze Antunes Garcia is being charged with murder. It happened right near North Las Vegas Boulevard and Washington. 13
Action News reporter Alicia Patillo explains how this all started.
We are learning that this all started because 2 people came inside this gas station to steal beer. Here's how it all went down. Police say just after 6 this morning, 3 people pulled into the gas station on Las Vegas Boulevard and Washington. A man and woman got out of the car and went inside to steal 3 cases of beer. The suspects left out the store but was confronted by the store manager. The woman got into the car, but the man and the manager got into a fight. Within minutes, a clerk from the store comes out and shoots the suspect twice. 15 minutes later, the car used in the robbery shows up at UMC and drops off the man shot. Police say the man was shot in his stomach and died.
So at this point, we were able to determine that the incident behind us at the robbery was related because the officers that responded told us that the clerk had fired 2 rounds into a vehicle during a beer skip.
And we are also told that one other suspect is still at large. Alicia Patillo, 13 Action News, elevating Las Vegas.
And now coming up on 13 Action News live at 6, 13 Action News asks, when does self-defense cross the line?
Well, multiple apartment units are damaged after a fire in North Las Vegas this morning near Decatur and West Cheyenne. You can see tons of smoke and flames. Several pets were removed, but no injuries were reported. The cause is still under investigation.
At least 3 people are dead in 3 separate crashes. Earlier this morning, a 28-year-old man was killed near Boulder Highway in Sahara. Witnesses say the driver was speeding, hit a median, then hit a curb and a parked car and a wall. Officers say that he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. And then just after midnight, a motorcyclist was killed after hitting a wall near Valley View and Southern Highlands Parkway. The 24-year-old man was rushed to UMC, where he later died. And late last night, a man was hit and killed by a semi-truck on the I-15 right near Sloan. NHP says that he was walking in a travel lane after parking his car on the shoulder when it happened.
Well, we are learning new information tonight about the 25-year-old accused of killing a California man and leaving his body in an abandoned car. Kelsey Turner identifying herself as a professional model on social media. 13 Action News reporter Brian Callahan joins us in studio with how friends say the two here were connected. Brian.
Well, Tricia, the document here accuses Turner of premeditated murder. This is friends in California say the doctor who was found dead in that abandoned car had come to check on Turner after she ran into relationship trouble. One big question popped up when a 25-year-old model was accused of killing a 71-year-old doctor and leaving his body in the trunk of a car in a remote part of the valley. How were Thomas Burchard and Kelsey Turner connected? Friends are filling in the blanks.
He told me he met Kelsey on the website and met up with her and they talked and they went and had dinner a few times.
The friend who wished to remain anonymous telling the Santa Barbara station near Burchard's home the doctor was paying the rent on the home Turner shared with her mother and children for some time, supporting the family.
These women were just like an escape for him to have somewhere to go.
How much was he giving Samantha and Kelsey?
Anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 a week, easily.
Turner was reportedly evicted from the home after Burchard stopped paying the rent and moved to Las Vegas. That friend telling crews Burchard came to Las Vegas to check on her after she reported having issues.
He says, seems that Kelsey's having some trouble with her boyfriend out there in Vegas. He's hitting her, he's abusing her, and she has no money, nowhere to go. And I feel partly responsible for this.
Court records list Turner as a victim in a domestic violence case that was dropped less than a month before Burchard's body was discovered in the trunk of an abandoned car. Prosecutors accusing Turner of killing him with a blow to the head sometime in the 3 days before. Turner is currently sitting in a Northern California jail awaiting extradition. Records there show she's due in court a week from Monday. Brian Callahan, 13 Action News, elevating Las Vegas.
All right, Brian, thank you. Well, the local parents facing charges in the college admissions scandal were in court today in Boston. Gamal Abdelaziz and Elizabeth Kimmel, they were among the 13 parents in court. Well, they're both accused of paying fixer Rick Singer to get their children into top schools. Abdelaziz allegedly paid to have his daughter falsely certified as a basketball recruit at USC. And Kimmel allegedly paid to have her daughter admitted to Georgetown as a phony tennis recruit and her son into USC as a fake track recruit.
Right now, a gorgeous day in the valley today, but most of you are probably thinking about the weekend.
Yeah, Dan, happy Friday, by the way,
Friday.
everyone. And our weekend looks fantastic.
Oh man, does it? It looks absolutely perfect across the valley this weekend. Hopefully you got some time to get outside, enjoy the weather a little bit. Right now it's nice across the city, 72 at the airport, but hey, a little cooler. Summerlin almost 10 degrees cooler right now. That's at about 2:15, and Charleston 63 degrees. We got 68 Centennial Hills right now. Clear skies across the area. It's going to remain that way as you wake up early tomorrow morning. Temperatures sliding back, lower 50s again tonight. Tomorrow, highs about the same as today, but much warmer temperatures moving back in. We're going to show you when in your 13 First Alert forecast.
Dan, thank you. Well, 2 people died at the Grand Canyon in 2 separate incidents this week. One man, a tourist from Hong Kong, died yesterday after falling over the edge of the rim to take pictures. He was with a tour group when he slipped and fell at the observation area. Also earlier this week, authorities found the body of another man. They're looking into how he died as well.
Well, President Trump declaring the Republican Party will be the party of health care, but he hasn't presented a plan to replace Obamacare. But as ABC's Serena Marshall explains, the Affordable Care Act's fate is in the hands of federal judges.
President Trump again promising Republicans will be the party of health care.
It's so much better than Obamacare.
While he offered no details, he predicted ultimate victory in the courts.
Obamacare is a disaster. Right now it's losing in court. Right now in the Texas court, as you know, probably ends up in the Supreme Court. But we're doing something that is going to be much less expensive.
Monday, his Justice Department asked a federal court to overturn the Affordable Care Act as unconstitutional. Come Wednesday, however, his administration's efforts to enact a Medicaid work requirement was dealt a significant blow. A judge ruling that work requirement would undermine the program's mission of providing health care for the needy. Then Thursday, a second setback. A U.S. district judge ruled the White House's associate health plans that allowed health insurance without the benefits required and outlined in the Affordable Care Act was illegal, calling the effort clearly an end run around the ACA.
GOP will never stop trying to destroy the affordable health care of America's families.
The House Speaker who muscled the ACA through Congress 9 years ago rolled out a new bill to shore up Obamacare. As for the Republicans on Capitol Hill and the president's promise, the Senate Majority Leader telling Politico Thursday, "I look forward to seeing what the president is proposing and what he can work out with the Speaker." The courts will ultimately decide the fate of the ACA. With a split Congress, legislation is unlikely. But if it's struck down in the courts, that means 52 million people who are currently protected with pre-existing conditions may no longer have coverage. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Well, tonight we are learning where popular Hawaiian restaurant Zippy's will open its first location right here in the Valley. The fast casual restaurant bought property in the Southwest, right near South Rainbow and the 215. Zippy's says the 7,000 square foot restaurant is expected to open in late next year.
It's going to be popular. A lot of people waiting on that. Well, CCSD is hosting one more hiring fair this week. The district is looking for teachers, bus drivers, and support staff. If you're looking for a job, you can talk to someone about the positions, and you can begin your application right there on the spot. The final hiring fair is tomorrow at Northwest Career and Technical Academy from 9 a.m. to noon.
Protecting your purchases from package thieves, new technology that could make your life easier.
Plus, organic products aren't just in the food section anymore.
Organic options are just going to be a clean, simple cotton.
What experts have to say about switching to organic feminine products.
And
no way.
Holy crime caper. Batman spotted at an active scene. What officers do next when they see the Cape Crusader. Well, some new video out of British Columbia shows the Cape Crusader showing up to try to help police.
Is Batman here to save the day? Like, seriously?
No way.
Look at
Yeah, well, police are responding to a domestic incident. Well, they were surprised to see someone dressed up as Batman drive up to the scene. His pickup truck also has a Batman logo on it. Now, eventually, police sent Batman away. Officers stressed the risk of distracting them in such serious situations.
Well, the Art Institute of Las Vegas was recently saved from closure, and students can now get ready for spring classes. Those start this Monday, April 1st. Current, new, and prior students can call the number on the screen to learn more about the upcoming class schedule and enrollment. Nearly 500 students are enrolled at the school.
Well, a new housing development in the Valley is aiming to stop package thieves, and 13 Action News reporter Nina Porshunkala now shows you the technology that's being used.
From coast to coast, cameras all over the country have captured porch pirates sail through neighborhoods. Here in the Valley, package thieves have shown no shame, swiping everything from baby toys to cancer medications off of porches. But the key to stopping them may be this: a metal locker soon to be built in new Summerlin homes.
We're aware that it is a problem throughout the Valley, and we're trying to get ahead of the problem.
Parcel Vending's smart home lockers will be installed in Toll Brothers Mesa Ridge community in Summerlin. Construction is still ongoing, but once built, this is how it will look like in each home. So, how do the lockers work? It's connected to your Wi-Fi and it comes with an app.
I'm going to come up and simply scan the barcode. It's going to ask for a signature required. If a signature is required, you'd select, the parcel carrier would select yes and hit continue. That would then alert you on your mobile app that you need to go in and sign for the package prior to you being able to get it.
The locker has a live camera and another one that takes still images of whomever comes to your door to deliver. It also has compartments that fit different package sizes. Once your package is delivered, when you get inside your home, this is what you're going to see.
Green means that the locker is able to be opened at this time. If there's a signature required, these lights will actually illuminate to red.
All you need to do is sign for the package through the app. Then the light turns green, and in just one push of a button,
parcel package system opens up. Take your package out. Close the locker system. That allows that locker system to be accessed again, and you're safe with your package at home and don't even have to go outside.
Nina Porshunkala, 13 Action News, elevating Las Vegas.
From Contact 13, buying organic food is a popular choice, but now buying organic feminine products is becoming a trend. As far as medical research goes, there's mixed reviews on whether buying organic tampons and pads is the right thing to do, but some feel strongly that organic products are better for you.
There has been a wide awareness of things like fiberglass in cotton tampons and pads. It would actually make your period symptoms worse.
Well, companies dispute those findings. Experts at one OBGYN office say they're excited women have more options, but say so far there is no medical research to say one way or the other if organic is better for your body.
Resorts on the Las Vegas Strip, they are going dark tomorrow. It is all to recognize Earth Hour to lower energy consumption and also reduce the carbon footprint. It all starts at 8:30 p.m. Now, according to the World Wildlife Foundation, 22 locations in Las Vegas, they're going dark for an hour. That includes the Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign, as well as MGM Resorts and Caesars Entertainment properties. A lot of properties there along the Strip.
Yeah, when you see that, don't get shocked, right?
Yeah,
That's
right.
going to be
We're
interesting.
not used to that. We love the bright lights.
We love it. All right, it was a great day today so far, Dan, and I know it's going to be a great weekend.
Yeah, you know, over the next week, there really isn't much to complain about.